Welcome back. You're listening to Vibrant Living with Vayu Yoga. I'm Wendy Hassenpflug.
And I'm Shannon Levy-heath.
And this is your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Today, we've been talking about how to move from positive thinking to enriching actions in your life. I'd like to start this segment with a quote. The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. Oprah Winfrey. Sometimes people believe that positive thinking is the single driving force that leads to positive change. And if they stop short of combining their positive thinking with positive action, they may not see the positive results they're looking for. I found that sometimes I get caught in this phase of what we call shelf help, and I don't find myself taking action with all the wonderful things that I'm learning. Jill, our guest for today, Jill, do you have some advice on how and when to implement what we've learned in our personal development?
You know, I love your self-help. I do think we get paralyzed there. We want to learn, we want to grasp, but then learning can only go so far unless we put it into action. So that takes another level of courage, a bit of guts and grit, and my hope is that each of us will just muster up enough. Like Eleanor Roosevelt said, do something every day that scares you. Step out with some aspect of what you're learning and put it into action. It will never always be just right or perfect. Don't wait till you've figured out to learn it perfectly in order to implement. Just get out there in your imperfectness and do something with it. And even if you fall over yourself, you're at least moving forward. And it's forward movement that really is what shifts and changes things, mentally as well as physically.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's wonderful advice. Thank you. Oh, of all the people, I think you, Jill, know what it means to not give up. Can you share some of your life triumphs with us and how your don't give up attitude has gotten you to where you are today?
Oh, how much time do you have?
We got about 8 minutes, I think.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I have absolutely know what it feels like, and I was shocked, actually, to discover that in a few short years I have incurred so much loss in my life that, I get back up and get hit back down and get back up and just get the rug pulled out from under me again. And after that happened consecutively for a 3-year period, and you kind of realize you've lost almost everything you invested yourself into, the relationships, the marriage, everything that mattered, there was definitely do I have the gumption anymore? Do I have enough in me, to be able to get back up and go? And at the end of the day, it is up to us. And I think most people I really admire have been at that point in their lives where they had to find a sense of gut and grits within themselves that they had to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. We can let life happen to us, or we can take charge and create the life we want. So I think at the end of the day, you've got to decide, what do you really want? And dare to go after it is all I can encourage each of us to do. Do I live, fearlessly? No. Normally it takes a bit of courage to do what I'm doing in life. And adventure doesn't mean that it's easy or without risk. But I do believe that Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or it's nothing at all. And I'm going to take the adventure. And I hope each of us does too in our own ways.
Absolutely. You know what, Shannon, do you remember what my theme for this year is for myself? What am I doing every day?
Stepping outside your comfort zone.
And every single day I repeat it out loud and I do something, and I'm not thinking about it consciously until that moment comes in my day. Then I'm like, okay, this is it. Step outside your comfort zone, Wendy. Sometimes it's small. Sometimes it's huge. And either way, it's growth, whether it's, small or big, but it's the only way we have to become vulnerable in some way to be able to grow. Otherwise, we become stagnant. Yeah.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Wendy. And I do believe that the more we step outside our comfort zone, we create a momentum and a strength that we are more fearless and more willing to take the risks. more willing to live on the edge, to climb to the edge of the branch, and to see that we can really soar. So I have built a lot of strength in that regard, and I don't tend to live in any comfort zone anymore. There are times I miss that and wouldn't mind a bit more of it in my life, but at the same time, I can say that it's well worth living outside of it, so that you build an ability to be resilient in ways you never dreamed possible.
It truly teaches us what we're made of when we're
does.
facing those challenges in life.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I really believe that it takes you, when you take that first step outside your comfort zone, again, whether it's small or big, it doesn't matter. But that first step, you're already seeing things from a different perspective. And if you hadn't taken that step, you'd still be seeing things the same way you did before. So it's, it changes, it shifts everything, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. Sometimes even the view is different. I mean, each time I go on a bike ride and I get to the point that I'm like, oh, I can't go anymore. I'm about to stop. I'm like, no, you can go a little further, Wendy, just a little further. Look at that spot right up there. You can do it. I'll get to that spot. And then I'll be like, oh, wait, I could still go a little further now. And then it does. It puts you at a very different place.
I've done that with the aerial dance, and also with just my neighborhood is very hilly. And that last part of the walk uphill is, going, like, really, what was I thinking of, But at the end of it, I went, this was good. I was able to push past what I thought I could do.
Right. Right. So, Jill, is there one more bit of advice that you can share with us today?
There is something. When I think about Kilimanjaro, when we were driving up to it, the summit is just crazy above the clouds. Okay, so it's just overwhelmed, and I thought, what did I get us into? I was just mortified, but we get out and you hike through multiple ecosystems, and you're cold at night, and you're exhausted during the day, and I ended up getting dysentery, which was a whole nother story above the tree line.
Oh no.
But the reality of it is, you sort of think you're starting at point A, and then you draw a line to the peak, and that's Z, right? You go straight up. But it's never like that. You start up, and then you actually end up on different passes where you're having to go away from the summit because you've got to go down this crevasse to climb up the sides of these rocks. So there's no clear, direct path that you can see the top from the bottom. That is life. Mm-hmm. There's no way. We all know we want to get to the top of Kilimanjaro, and yet there is no possible way to get a straight beeline there. You're going to get tired. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to get worn down. You're going to fall. You might scrape your leg. You might get blisters. But no matter what, you keep going, finding like-minded people to climb to the top with you, and you pull on the resources within you that you didn't think you had that begin to appear because you've placed yourself in a situation that is pushing you beyond what you thought your limits were.
Oh,
That's
Jill,
when we begin
amazing.
to discover this incredible John Wayne true grit within us that comes to life.
And
wow,
that
amazing.
It truly is a beautiful metaphor for life.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Nice. So the don't give up attitude, taking charge and creating the life that you want, stepping outside your comfort zone each day, and really becoming, creating things that are life-giving beliefs. So, Jill, it's been such an honor having you on the show today. Thank you so much. And thank you. Let me pause there. Thank you so much, Jill.
You are so welcome.
It's been a joy.
It's been
truly.
a joy and an honor.
Truly. You can find Jill Tupper, Tupper, on Facebook, and you can find us on Facebook, VayuYoga.com. Join us this weekend for our Hike and Yoga benefit this Saturday on the 18th. That information is on VayuYoga.com as well. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening, and if you missed any part of the show, check out our podcast at hometownstation.com. We'll be back the second Tuesday of May. You've been listening to Vibrant Living with Vayu Yoga. I'm Wendy Hassenpflug on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.